Welcome to today's Explainer. So today we are looking at a really incredible story, one that absolutely proves the future of technology isn't just being written in places like Silicon Valley or massive tech hubs, it's actually being shaped right at the grassroots level. We're going to explore a completely unique, first-of-its-kind educational event that happened in Dhupguri, West Bengal. And listen, this wasn't your standard, run-of-the-mill textbook lecture where kids just sit and listen. No, this was a deep dive into the bleeding edge of modern tech. We're talking drone technology, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, delivered directly to middle and high school students. It's just a brilliant case study in how we can empower young minds by bringing complex global innovations right into local classrooms. Okay, let's dive into this. The official poster for this event visually establishes exactly what these students walked into on Sunday, June 14th, 2026. I mean, just look at the layout here. It promises this really comprehensive journey, going all the way from drone applications and live demonstrations to AI fundamentals and machine learning algorithms. When you see a curriculum outline like that, you know for sure the organizers aren't holding back. They set a highly professional, super ambitious tone right out of the gate. It really signaled to the community that this workshop was going to be a serious, hands-on exploration of the technologies that are literally reshaping our world today. 80. That is perhaps the absolute most vital statistic of this entire initiative. Around 80 eager students, ranging from the 8th all the way up to the 12th standard, participated in this workshop. Think about that for a second. These are teenagers voluntarily giving up their Sunday morning, intensely focused and hungry to learn about complex aeronautics and computational algorithms. Having an audience of 80 young people stepping up like that to grasp the future, it really tells us everything we need to know about the incredible appetite for advanced STEM education in local communities. Now, an event of this magnitude doesn't just spontaneously happen in a vacuum, right? It requires immense, dedicated community collaboration. This whole thing was a joint powerhouse effort spearheaded by Dhupguri High School, the Dhupguri Science Club, and Vijnana Bharati, or VIBA, Uttarbanga. You had these amazingly dedicated local educators and community leaders, people like teacher-in-charge Gunamai Bandyopadhyay, Dhupguri Science Club Secretary Hrithik Pomik, and VIBA representatives Rajbir Kumari and Supriya Saha, all pooling their resources together. This level of collaboration is a huge testament to the fact that when educational institutions and science clubs actually align their visions, they create unparalleled opportunities for their youth. And the impact of this grassroots initiative was so profound, it rightfully grabbed local headlines, like this awesome coverage in the Uttarbanga Sambad newspaper. So this wasn't just some quiet weekend project, it was a celebrated community milestone. When local media starts highlighting educational workshops on AI and drones, it kind of normalizes these advanced fields for the broader public. It proves the community has a deep, vested interest in bridging that gap between global tech advancements and local, accessible education. Section 1, Inside the Drone Workshop. The curriculum itself was brilliantly structured. They started right from the ground up. The instructors didn't just, show some cool videos of drones flying around. They actually stripped the technology down to its fundamental anatomy. They went from basic components like propellers and speed controllers into a deep dive on the inner workings of brushless DC motors. Honestly, explaining the electromagnetic mechanics of why a drone can lift off and hover with such precision to an 8th grader is no small feat, but it's exactly the foundation you need to build real understanding rather than just superficial amazement. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer practicality of the hardware being showcased here. We're looking at heavy-duty lithium polymer batteries hooked up to professional balance chargers sitting right next to fully assembled carbon fiber quadcopters resting on the grass. The students weren't just passively taking notes, they were analyzing the actual physical hardware that powers flight. Exposing them to real-world power management, battery safety, and structural drone assembly takes the whole learning experience from purely theoretical to incredibly tangible. And they definitely didn't stop at the basics. The presenters walked the students through the complexities of quadcopter build and pre-flight checks, specifically dealing with systems like NASA with GPS and Pixhawk flight controllers. And for those who might not know, Pixhawk is this incredibly powerful, industry-standard open-source autopilot system that professionals use worldwide. By introducing these advanced platforms, the instructors were essentially handing these teenagers the exact same conceptual tools used by commercial drone engineers today. The workshop just continually pushed boundaries, exposing students to cutting-edge, next-generation concepts, like swarm drones. That's multiple drones acting together in a coordinated, unified network. It's so fascinating because it totally moves the conversation from, hey, how do I fly this one machine, to how can multiple autonomous machines communicate and execute complex tasks together? It is the perfect gateway concept that bridges mechanical engineering with advanced computer science and networking. And this brilliantly illustrates real-world application right alongside vital responsibility. Students learned how drones can solve massive agricultural challenges, like their precision crop spraying, while simultaneously studying critical DGCA safety regulations. We're talking line of sight rules, restricted airspaces, the whole shebang. So it's teaching them not just how to be innovators, but how to be safe, responsible operators within a legal framework. Section 2, Exploring AI and ML. So teaching AI and machine learning to middle and high schoolers requires a very special kind of pedagogy, but the experts in Dhupguri managed to successfully break down highly complex mathematical concepts, algorithms, and data processing models, and literally translate them into tangible, everyday uses for the students. They discussed how AI isn't just some science fiction movie trope, it's the recommendation algorithm on their streaming apps. It's the computer vision allowing a drone to avoid a tree. It's the predictive modeling that can forecast weather patterns for local farmers. They basically made the invisible software world incredibly visible and relevant to their daily lives. And here is the absolute proof that their teaching methods worked. Seeing a student confidently raising his hand during the presentation perfectly emphasizes the active, engaging nature of the workshop. These kids weren't just passively sitting there staring blankly at a lecture. They were genuinely curious, deeply involved, and critically analyzing the information. When you have kids asking detailed questions about Pixar controllers and machine learning algorithms, you know for sure a spark has been ignited. Let's move to and see how this builds Section 3, Inspiring Future Scientists. Partha Ghosh, the president of the Dhupguri Science Club, summarized the entire ethos of this event perfectly. He said, "There are numerous talented students in Dhupguri. If their talent can be guided on the right path, in the coming days, many scientists and researchers will emerge from Dhupguri in the field of drone technology and AI." What a powerful statement of belief in local potential, right? It just completely strips away the myth that you have to be born in a massive metropolis to contribute to global technological advancements. The beautiful thing here is that this highly successful first step has served as a massive catalyst. The huge 80-student turnout and their amazing level of active engagement have deeply encouraged the organizers. In fact, they're already planning to leverage this momentum to organize even larger, more expansive workshops in the future. They've built the foundation, they've proven the demand is there, and now they are absolutely ready to scale up this grassroots STEM revolution. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly exciting question to ponder. What new innovations will emerge from Dhupguri in the future? Think about it. When you equip 80 passionate young minds with the fundamental knowledge of drones, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, you are planting seeds that will inevitably grow into tomorrow's breakthroughs. This workshop wasn't just about teaching tech. It was literally about handing over the keys to the future. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. And hey, keep your eyes open. The next big tech revolution might just come from a classroom exactly like this one.